Y'all been out of the game for like a good month, yo. I don't know what the fuck happened. Shit, life, maybe. What don't matter. I'm back. And look, we got a lot of shit to catch up on. Albums dropped left and right that I fucking missed. So you know what? Let's talk about the shit. Alright, y'all, so I've been gone for like a month, y'all. Like, work been crazy. Yeah, I got a job and shit. You know, I gotta pay them bills and shit. And I've been traveling all over and doing all kinds of crazy shit. Finishing this album situation up. You know, it's still coming. It's still coming. But, you know, y'all love me for the reviews and shit. And, you know, it's been a minute. And a lot of albums done dropped that I did not get a chance to review just because I've been doing all kinds of crazy shit. So, for the first time ever, I'm doing sort of like a catch-up review of, like, all the albums that I just missed. So, I'm going to do a quick, small review. I'm going to give ratings, give my thoughts on them. All the albums that I planned on reviewing when they dropped that I just didn't get to do. And this is sort of like a catch-up thing. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the list of albums. I got them right here. I think so. Hold on. I'm never right. I'm never ready. Fuck. Where's it at? Shit. Oh, this here. Okay, I got two screens. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So we're gonna go through these albums. I'm gonna give my quick rating and my quick thoughts of it. Nothing too extensive. I can't go a full-blown Wooler review into all of them because the video would be like fucking an hour plus long or some shit. I don't fucking know a lot though. So first album we're gonna talk about, Denzel Curry, Taboo. I'm late as fuck, yo. I know, but I had to talk about this album. Now here's the first. Let me start off with this. I was sleeping on Denzel Curry, like comatose level sleeping on this nigga. I don't know why I didn't decide to listen to this motherfucking music. Probably because I thought he was just another one of them, you know, new age rappers. Like the old nigga in me kind of like took over. But you know what? It's all good. I said, you know what? I'm hearing good shit about this album. I decided to listen to it a little bit after it dropped. And god damn it, y'all, Denzel Curry killed this motherfucking album. Taboo is so fucking dope. Like, I love just so many things about this album. First of all, Denzel, he is a damn spitter. This motherfucker's got flow, he's got bars, he's got lyrics, but he doesn't sound dated. He sounds updated. He can rhyme over the trap shit. Hard-hitting production on this fucking album. Love the beats on here. I love how it's broken up into 3 acts, the light, the gray, the dark. Even though I think the concept could have been fleshed out a little bit better, and there are some cuts on here that I thought are just okay, the majority of this album is fucking fantastic from a rap perspective, a production perspective, and just a overall just like project perspective. I think Denzel Curry did a really good job on this album. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, Black Balloons was fucking fire. Cash Maniac, Sumo. Oh my god, yo, I get so hyped when I hear Sumo. Yo, shit, I'm ready to fucking 100 hand slap somebody Eon when that shit comes on. Also, Super Saiyan Superman. Sirens is dope with Jid. Also the what else? A Vengeance with JPEG Mafia and Zilla Kami. I mean, Black Metal Terrorists. Like, there's so many dope cuts on here. And actually, the only songs that I say I really didn't care too much for were like, you know, Cloud Cobain, which actually I think that was his like single, which is like okay. Also, like, you know, the opening track Taboo was cool with the singing and whatnot. But his shining moment is with the rapping. I think this is a dope album. There's a lot of cuts on here. I'm gonna go back. It's one of my like as an album that I was thoroughly surprised that I enjoyed so much. It wasn't perfect to me, but it was damn good, and I'm gonna have to give it a very highly Granddad recommended. I would have given it an approved, y'all, but I think the concept could have been a little bit better, and I also think that, you know, some cuts on here were just okay, but there are a lot more positives than negatives on this album. So Denzel Curry, you made a fan out of me. I like what you're doing, bro. Keep it up. This shit is fire. You're very unique, great energy, great style, great flow. Yo, I fuck with this album. Taboo, very highly Granddad recommended. Next album we're gonna talk about, y'all, comes from Jarren, Benton. It's Yuck Food. Yuck me? Nigga, Yuck Food. Or fuck you, or what the fuck? I don't know. Point is this, it's the follow-up album to one of my favorite albums that dropped last year, I believe. Yeah, the Mint Coat Killer LP. I love that fucking album. Now, I really wasn't a big Jarren Benton fan until that album dropped because he was rhyming over different production, more like, you know, I guess boom bap, old school, like Wu-Tang influenced production, and he fits so well on that. His lyricism was on point. His subject matter was great. I love that album. So when it came into this album, I was hoping to get some more of that, but instead Jarren Benton kind of went more of the banger trap route on here, which is okay. I mean, I'm really not a huge fan of that part of Jarren Benton, but he did a good job on this album. It's not an amazing album. I didn't enjoy it as much as Mint Coat Killer LP, but there are some dope cuts on here. Hold on, I got it. Hold on, I thought I was ready. I mean, you got Collide, which is dope. Godzilla's dope. Don't Need You with Hobson, which Hobson came through with a really dope verse. The closing track, Just Like You, is really cool. It's a lot of solid records on this album. I mean, it's very short. It's only 10 tracks long, only 9 songs because the opening track is like an interlude. So it's 9 songs long, and for the most part, you know, it's a solid album. It's not, like I said, better than his last album to me personally, but it's a banger album. It's gonna get the people hyped when he goes and performs it on stage, which I'm pretty sure that's what he was going for. Kato on the track did the majority or pretty much all the production on here, and he brought them bangers. There's a lot of dope songs on here, but I just feel like this album just like
suffered from what Mink Coat Killer had, which is that great like old school throwback production, great lyricism and storytelling overall. Even though there are some storytelling joints on here like The Shooter, which, you know, Jarren Benton talks from the perspective of a school shooter, which are tracks like that on here. But for the most part, this is just a fun banger type album, and it's just pretty much saying yuck food. But there really isn't no like Asian influence on this project either. I didn't get like no yuck food or no, like, you know, like little excerpts or stuff. I thought I would have got something like that on here, but I mean, it's cool for what it is. I will give it a Granddad recommended. I wanted to give it a very highly, but there just aren't that many tracks on here for me to love this album or really like this album. But it's solid. It gives you what you want. It's a banger album. Not better than this last to me personally, but there are some cuts on here I will go back and listen to. So Jarren Benton, you did a good job on this one, but let me get some more of that Mink Coat shit next time. I think that was your best shit. That was your best shit by far to me, but this shit pretty solid. Next album is Mac Miller's Swimming, and this is the follow-up to The Divine Feminine, which I think I don't know what I gave it last year, but I think I enjoyed the album for the most part. I think it was a cool album, and that's when he was all in love with Ariana Grande. Now she dumped his ass, and now he's like not in love, now he's all in his feelings, and they're doing some self-reflection shit. And mostly on this album, you hear Mac Miller singing. Now I'm not a huge fan of Mac Miller's singing voice, but I can tolerate it. It's not terrible, but you know, I think he's going into his own with his voice. And the shining thing about this project to me is the production and just how the vibe and the flow of this album. Like, I was listening to this album a lot when I was out in New York. I was like walking in downtown, you know, Manhattan, playing this album, and it was a good little soundtrack, just walking around, you know, listening to it as I was walking around the city. And I just kind of appreciate what Mac Miller's doing. He's pretty much reflecting on his life, whether it's relationships, his career, just himself. It's just pretty much a self-reflection album. I really can appreciate that. It's not the greatest album, it's not the greatest Mac Miller project, but it's cool for what it is. It's solid. There's a lot of dope cuts on here. Like, I like Hurt Feelings. What's the Use sounds like something that would have been on Tuxedo album, and he really does an okay job with it. I mean, I think Mayor Hawthorne would have sang better, of course, but you know, Mac Miller did Mac Miller. Dunno is a dope track, but my favorite is 2009. I love the beat on there. It's done by Eric G of the Soul Council. Shout out to Jamla. Did a dope job on that one. And overall, it's a cool album. I didn't love it, didn't hate it, and I could actually listen to the whole thing as like, you know, good vibing, background music, but I just think, you know, Mac Miller gave an album that was pretty much a personal album. He was in, you know, dealing with what he was going through, and he's wanting to put that on record, and that's what he did. Not amazing, not terrible, just good. It's cool. Production is the shining moment for me. Mac Miller needs to tweak his singing a little bit. It's getting slightly better as he goes, but you know, I mean, at least there is some rapping on here, and he does a good job on that. So yeah, Granddad recommended for Mac Miller Swimming. The next album is YG Stay Dangerous, y'all, and I was a little late to the party with YG. I've always heard about YG, I've heard songs here and there, but I really didn't dive into any full projects until Still Brazy, and I was really, really late. I took a while to listen to that album, and I was surprised on how good it was, because I really didn't care for his first one, My Crazy Life. I kind of skimmed through that. I was like, man. And it's the same thing with Stay Dangerous. It sounds more like My Crazy Life than Still Brazy, which I thought production-wise, storytelling-wise, than just as an artist, YG showed a lot more growth on that album, and he sort of regressed on this album. There really isn't that much to this album that I can really say. He's really going for that commercial appeal. He's really going for, you know, some kind of hit-making scenario. He's back with DJ Mustard, so the production on here is those banger DJ Mustard tracks, but you can only hear so much of that on a project. It's just mad to me overall. I mean, the only tracks on here that I can say I really, really enjoyed were probably Deeper Than Rap, Bombtown Finest, and Big Bank, because it's a catchy joint. I mean, it's a single, it's not amazing, but you know, it's cool for what it is. But pretty much everything else is just meh. You know, he tries his hand at some singing. The features on here are just okay, but I think YG did a lot better on Still Brazy. It sounded more West Coast. It sounded more, you know, authentic. This one sounds like he's just really just going for, you know, that mainstream appeal, which I ain't mad at him for. He wants to get that mainstream appeal. He wants to get that paper. Do what you gotta do, bruh. But I just feel like this album is sort of a regression rather than a progression as far as what you were doing on your previous work. So I have to give this album a just barely Granddad recommended, because I just really didn't care too much for it. I mean, I just thought his last album was a lot better. There wasn't much for me to really grab on with this project, and it's just like, now I'm back to square one with YG. So let's see on his next project if he'll give us more of that Still Brazy stuff, or if he'll double up and give us an amazing project, which I know he can because the dude is mad talented. But that's what I feel about Stay Dangerous. Just barely Granddad recommended, but I wish I could have gave it more. But it just wasn't nothing there for me to give it more, so that's what it is. The next album, y'all, is some super underground shit. It's an album that y'all might not know about, but I gotta talk about it. Vanderslice, the best album money can buy. Now, Vanderslice is a very dope underground producer. Now, I mean, he's been around for a long time, but not many people know about him. But he dropped this album, and this is like the hip hop underground boom bap album that you need to hear. That's out right now that I think most people or nobody be talking about. He's got a star-studded feature list on this joint. I mean, he's got everybody from Ghostface Killer to Freddie Gibbs to Cormega to Conway the Machine, Slug, Evidence, I mean, Percy P. I mean, like, there's a lot of dope MCs on here, and they come through and they give a really solid album. I mean, it's only 25 minutes long, 10 tracks, but it's just 10 tracks of pure hip-hop, dope cuts. I mean, I can listen to this shit front to back. It's just all the way dope. I think Vanderslice did a really good job with this project, and I know a lot of y'all probably don't know who the fuck he is, but check this album out because it is dope. I mean, like, Thugs Need Hugs with Blueprint, that shit's fire. Blueprint is a great storyteller. I love when he does those storytelling joints. So Blueprint's got a dope joint on here. My Neighborhood with Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs has just been on fire, so I mean, he's got a dope cut on here. Also, Hard Body Karate. I can't believe Prodigy's on here too, of course. R.I.P. Prodigy. Hard Body Karate with Prodigy, Conway the Machine, and Big Twins. Dope cut. Chevrolet with J-Zone is dope as well. I really like that one. I'm not too familiar with J-Zone, but he had a dope cut on here. North American Money with Slug and Evidence. Come on, you know, when you put Slug and Evidence on the track, I'm a big rhyme sayer stand, so you know, and them dudes. So like, dope track on there. And I love the closing track with Conway the Machine. We Got the Drop. Shit is fire. So it's a dope album, a dope project, very quick 25-minute record, but I think it's something that you need to listen to if you're into underground hip hop, if you're into any of these MCs. Check this out because it is fire, it is dope, and it is 100% Granddad approved. Vanderslice, you did your damn thing. Looking forward to hearing more from you after this. And I mean, it really is the best album money can buy, but nigga, nobody bought this shit. We streamed the fuck out of this, you know. Mate, I'll drop $5 on it. I got you. And the last album I'm gonna talk about, y'all, was one I was really thinking about not reviewing, but I said, fuck it, why not? I mean, shit, why? We here. Nicki Minaj, Queen. And this album is really very similar to how I felt about YG's album. I really am not a huge Nicki Minaj fan, but I do respect what she's done. She's very talented. She's made hit after hit. I mean, she's cemented herself as a legacy in the game. Can't knock that. I mean, this is her big comeback album after I don't know how many years since her last album. But the thing about this album is if Nicki Minaj is proclaiming herself as the queen, this album really does not represent that because she's really shown no growth, no progression in her music from what she's done in the past. Like, this is pretty much the same Nicki we've gotten. I mean, we know Nicki can rap, she's got flow, she's got style, she's got personality, charisma. That's what made her the superstar she is. But I think she's at a point now where she really has to just go to that next level and give us that next level album that shows why she's at the top of the game. Because when you got other artists like Cardi B and Rhapsody and Cupcake and a whole bunch of other just you know dope female artists who are coming into the game and doing their damn thing, I mean, it's really hard for Nicki to try to keep that cemented place that she's made without dropping an amazing album, and I just don't think Queen did that. It's a lot of filler on this album. It's over an hour long. The production on here is just okay. The features on here are kind of disappointing. M's features disappointing. Wayne's features disappointing. I mean, you know, the song with Sway Lee for 6 minutes, I don't know why the fuck that's that long, but that's on there. I mean, the only feature I kind of enjoyed was Foxy Brown on Coco Chanel, which is a dope beat. I love the beat on there. I think Foxy Brown did a good job. I mean, it's like the best Foxy Brown I've ever heard, but she's still rapping. She's still doing her thing. But what I don't understand is why the last track, which is that interlude, which is the same exact track, wasn't just put on the end of the song. That was an unnecessary way to split the tracks. I don't know why they did that, but that's whatever. Also, probably the most talked about song on here, Barbie Dreams, which is an homage to Just Playing by Biggie, which is a dope song. He uses the same beat, everything like that. And you know, Nicki's going in on the rappers and shit that she knows, like Khaled and Drake and M and everybody like that. Just pretty much, she's dissing them, but she's doing it in a playful way, but she dissing the niggas, you know, and they felt some way about it probably. But that's a dope cut. Also, LLC was cool. But for the most part, this album, I really just didn't care too much for because it really wasn't anything different or out of the box, and it's just like, meh. I mean, you know Nicki's going for that pop appeal. She's got to get those hit records out, and that's what she's pretty much fishing for here. But in the end result, it's just a lot of filler, a lot of shit we've already heard before, nothing new, nothing special, and it really just doesn't really cement her as a queen. She might be the queen, but this album doesn't really cement that through the music, and that's the thing about it. So this album right here, I gotta give a just barely Granddad recommended. I mean, I'm not gonna go back to anything really. Maybe Barbie Dreams, a little. No, I'm not gonna go back to. Maybe Coco Chanel probably is the only track I'll go back because the beat I think is really dope and fire. But other than that, it's just meh. I'm not gonna go back to it. But those are the albums, y'all, that I wanted to catch up on with y'all. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry I was gone for so long, but those are the albums that I had to, you know, catch up on, that I was planning on reviewing, that I did, you know, get my takes on. So now we're back into speed, we're back in the game, and now we're gonna get back on the regularly scheduled programming with the reviews and everything else like that. So make sure you give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, let me know what you think of any of these albums that I reviewed or did some quick reviews for. I know it's not a full-fledged, full-on review, but you know, just let me know what you think about these projects. I got them all lined up here. Also, check out the previous video on the side. My latest music video, RTB3, that shit's out. Check that out. Show us some love. Get them numbers up. And also, just look out for the videos. They coming back. Y'all, I'm gonna try not to be gone so long. I can't do, I mean, shit happens. Life happens. You know, I gotta make that paper, y'all. I gotta make that paper. I'm trying to drop this album. I'm trying to get it ready. And but I'm just saying. So until next time, I take my leave. Granddad, let's talk about the shit. Catch up, Wooly Reviews edition. I mean, that's all the albums, y'all. That was like, what, like 5, 6 albums? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them motherfuckers? 6 in one video, shit. So let me know what you think of that shit, but that's what it is. And only one of them was approved. Fuck. Shout out to Vanderslice. You cut through, you slice through the competition and you got that approved. Everybody else, do better. Do better. I'm out of here.